Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to DarkLogic Studios' Attack on Titan manga reviews and discussions. Before we go any further, I want to give you fair warning that these videos are going to contain lots and lots of spoilers, so if you haven't read the latest chapter, then what are you doing with your life? Seriously though, if you don't want spoilers, you should probably click on something else. If you're all caught up though, then let's get to it. Hey, what's up guys? So it's time for my joint discussion about Attack on Titan, Chapter 100 and 101. Now if you're wondering why I'm doing it this way, why I didn't have a review for Chapter 100, well I couldn't actually make a review for Chapter 100 because my computer decided that it was time for it to go to computer heaven, and it would figure that it would do it during this chapter. The most anticipated chapter in Attack on Titan probably since the Shingeki arc and that whole shit, but it fucking would. But anyway, that's okay because I'm still gonna review this sucker. I don't care if I'm late because, you know what, it actually kind of works this way because Chapter 100 and 101 kind of felt like two chapters in one, you know what I mean? So I was probably gonna discuss them together anyway, but I'm still really sad that I didn't get to review Chapter 100 because, man, it was a good chapter. I'm still gonna review it, like I said, I'm gonna review it in this video before we get to the discussion, but damn, it was probably one of the best chapters for me, next to Chapter 101. Now, I'd heard that some people were kind of disappointed in Chapter 100, but I wasn't at all. I really felt like the scene was a really good build-up to Chapter 101, and man, did it leave us on a crazy cliffhanger. In the very last panels, EREN turns into a Titan and freaking just slices Willy up with his hand, and he was supposed to be the Warhammer Titan, at least as far as we knew at that point. Of course, now we know in Chapter 101 it was revealed that his sister was actually the Warhammer Titan, and that makes a lot more sense because, as Captain Maggot says in the beginning of this chapter, it would have just been way too risky if Willy was actually the Warhammer Titan, because as we see in the beginning of Chapter 101, EREN eats him. So if Willy was the Warhammer Titan, EREN would have had his power at that point, and that would have been insane. But they weren't that stupid, thankfully. Willy told this lie and decided to sacrifice himself for the greater good as he sees it. And I think that he always knew that he was gonna die by the time this was all over. And you see as well in Chapter 100, in this first scene, he's pretty much already accepted that he's gonna die. You know, we see him and Maggot talking, and it's clear that they are aware that Marley has been infiltrated in some way. And as Maggot says, they have no idea really who they are, what their goals are. And so their whole plan in doing this is to find out for sure, is to smoke them out, as Willy says. And he's chosen to do this, he's chosen to take this on because he knows that there's no other way. There's no other way that they would be able to get all these people, all these ambassadors, all these journalists, all these world leaders and military officials to gather in one place, which is what they needed if this was gonna happen. Like, if Paradis was gonna attack Marley, they didn't just want Marley to be affected. See, Marley's being pretty selfish right now. It's kind of messed up. They wanted to make sure that if Paradis attacked them, that it didn't just affect them, that it affected the entire world. Because if EREN and Cervicor and the people on Paradis attacked Marley, and they were the only ones who were affected by it, nobody would care, because nobody likes Marley either, right? So they needed to get all these people from all over the world in a place where they aren't seeing this from a distance. They are witnessing this firsthand. They are actually experiencing this and feeling their own mortality because they're there, they're part of the attack. They're not going to just hear about it in the newspapers. They're in that moment, and they're being affected by it personally, because all of those people's lives are at risk right now. So, I think I was totally wrong about my predictions in my chapter 99 review, because I had kind of thought that EREN had planned this out in order to provoke an attack from Marley onto Paradis, so that they could have the battle on their own turf, so that they could have the advantage. But what I didn't consider is what this really does, is now that EREN has attacked the world really in this way, it's not gonna just be Marley who goes after Paradis, it's gonna be everybody. So the fact that EREN is here, the fact that he is attacking during this festival, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It seems like he's just being really destructive, and he's really fucking things up for everybody. So this actually makes a lot more sense. The fact that Marley, Willy Tybur, and Captain Maggot, and whoever else is involved planned for this to happen, they provoked EREN to attack in this moment. It's, in a way, it's kind of like insurance for them. They're ensuring that if he does attack, they weren't sure if he was gonna or not, but if he does, everyone else is gonna be pissed off too. You know, we want to make sure that everyone else is scared shitless as much as we are, because I don't get the feeling that they have TV, even in Marley. Like, they still seem to be pretty behind on technology in comparison to, you know, today. They're obviously a bit more advanced than the people on Paradis, at least they were, but, you know, since the Survey Corps got a hold of all that secret information, all the hidden knowledge that the government was keeping from everybody, as we saw before the Marley arc, they had advanced their technology really rapidly and put a lot of that knowledge into use right away. But anyway, so Willy, the real reason Willy is doing this, the real reason he's sacrificing himself, I think, the end goal really, is to protect Marley from going down first. To protect his homeland from being put in a position where they're so weakened that other countries might want to invade them. But because this happened, because all of these people from around the world, all these ambassadors and these journalists and world leaders, they all experienced this, and this affected all of them as well, not just the Marley. And because Willy himself died in the attack, which, as we know, everybody just loves the shit out of Willy. Like, he's like everybody's favorite person, and you know, he had people freaking like crying in the audience, like he must be one hell of a showman. I can't wait to see that whole speech animated, because, you know, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Like, I can't wait to see like the editing. That might sound like a weird thing, but I'm like a film nerd, so you know, as it's going back and forth between Willy and EREN, like that's gonna be pretty cool. But anyway, because all of this happened when they were attacked, like this changes everything. Even though EREN may or may not have done anything different, like imagine if they hadn't planned this and EREN just attacked randomly, like there wouldn't be a lot of empathy for Marley from the other nations, because they wouldn't be personally affected by it, and because Willy would still be alive, but he died. And there was also, you know, his speech is a big part of it too. There's this truth that came out, and then this plea of, I guess you could call forgiveness, and a request to come together and fight as one against a common enemy. This really powerful speech. Like I said, people were crying in the audience, and then he dies. And that in and of itself would probably move people in some way to act against Paradis. But the fact that not only Willy died, but all these other people died, this is all really important. And this all probably, I'm thinking, probably went totally according to plan. Now, what exactly Willy and Maggot's goals are to begin with, whether it's just trying to protect themselves from collapsing or not in the wake of imminent war, we're just gonna have to see. What I really am curious about, though, is EREN's motivation. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, share, comment, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and check out my Patreon if you want to help support this channel. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.